Hello everyone. Empathy is very important stage in the design thinking. Empathy can be carried out in three different strategies. The first strategy is interview with the user who faced the problem, and the second stage is like observation of the problem when the user experience it, and the third method is to walk along with the user when he gets a problem. So these are the three strategies that we can use for our empathy. So empathy is very important to understand the problem better. You know, the user may say the problem in different ways. It may be not understandable, may not be understandable to us. To understand the problem better, we must do an empathy. All right. And one of the tool for the empathy is empathy map. You know, empathy map have four quadrants. The first quadrant is what users say. The second quadrant is what user think. The third quadrant is what user do, and the fourth quadrant is what user feel. Okay, these four quadrants are to be considered when the user faced a problem. So this has to be collected at the time of doing empathy to understand the user much better. You know, so let us consider a problem in the website. All right, the problem in the website, it may a shortage of internet or the low bandwidth of internet. Okay, so when we take this problem into the empathy map, like we can consider what users say when the user experiencing that website internet bandwidth issue. The user may tell, hey, it is not loaded, I experiencing this problem, I have to complete it on time. So many answers will come out of user when the user say about the problem, right? It is also like an interview. And the second quadrant is what the user think. Okay, the user may think like this bandwidth will not work out. The user may feel it is really annoying. The user may think that I'm paying for it, but still the internet is not good. So these are the observations, and actually which is in the mind of the user, but it will not be coming out. And the third is what user do or what user does. When the user find the bandwidth problem, so he may think that the problem may arise because of the bandwidth or because of the computer. So the user will do keep on refreshing the pages or keep on opening the browsers and experiencing that. And what user feel. Okay, so when the user have that internet problem, the user may feel that it's really paining because it has to be submitted on that deadline, and the user may feel to change the network because of the internet shortage. So these kind of answers, you know, this will comes only when we make ourselves very clear for doing an empathy. So this empathy map, it's a collaborative effort to collect the problems and the user experience with the four quadrant of what user speak, what user say, what user think, what user does, what user feels. Right? It is not only specified to the problem of the user. It is also can be applicable before we plan an event. It is not only an event, it may be n number of examples that we can apply empathy. For example, if I'm going to organize a marriage reception, I may apply the empathy map in the four quadrant, and I can plan the wedding reception after doing these research and things. We can even use this empathy map for framing the rules and a party at any occasion or hospitals, and anywhere. There is no limitations of problem, because you know the empathy and the design thinking is meant for a life. It is not only limited with one particular application, it can be applied anywhere, and the empathy map will be very important for the problem solver to understand the problem much better, and when we work on it. Because you know, you cannot blindly say, or you cannot simply go and say I'm collected all the problem. You should have some measuring tool. So this empathy map will act as a measuring tool to understand the problem better in a 4 different sequence or 4 different quadrants, which is called as empathy map. So finally, I would like to remind you with the 4 quadrant is like what user think, what user say, what user does, what users feel when the problem is actually reached to the user. So please use this for any kind of application and share your feedback in the comment. Thank you.